Hi, all of you. Am I streaming fine? Can you all see me? Can you all hear me clearly? Just leave a message for me if you can. Hi, Avnish. Good evening. Okay, then let's get started. Others will join us eventually. Good evening, all of you. Today is a live session on DAF-2. What all you must keep in mind when you fill up your DAF. DAF is a very important part. DAF is a detailed application form. It's a very important part of your getting ready for the interview, because my experience over the years tells me whatever is asked, whatever questions you are grilled on, whatever themes they pick up for discussion, it is almost entirely on the DAF. If I can be a bit more conservative, I can say maybe 95%, but invariably, DAF is the main source of whatever questions they ask. Hi, Bhagat Basudev, Shirampur. I think we have met in other sessions. You also are giving your interview this year. Bhagat, Sasan Bhagat, are you giving interview this year? Okay, there'll be nice, achievement for all of you who are giving interviews. Congratulations. It's a very important milestone after having worked for some of you 2-3 attempts, some of you even more 3-4 attempts. Coming as far as interview is definitely a very nice feeling, kind of a sense of accomplishment. You have a sense of closure in the attempts that you have tried earlier. So good for you. Excellent. So today's session, we'll have a quick session on how to take care of the DAF session, DAF form. Now, in the DAF form, the details of name, address, optional, I believe all of that is something that you all know. Three areas which trouble most aspirants. One is what to fill for the hobbies, interest, what will you fill for achievements, your sports, what kind of awards can you talk about, what kind of achievements can you list down. That's one. The second troublesome area is what should we fill as our cadre choices, what zones, what states. And third is how do we choose our services? Certain services we are not familiar with. A lot of, although most of us are preparing for the top services, be it IAS, IPS, IFS, IRS, but we do not know all the other services. Some of them are Group B services and they have good prospects, although they are considered as Group B, but they have more diversity. So that's one of the discussions that we'll have in what to consider when you're filling up your forms. Hi, Tanish. Good evening. Yes, absolutely. Should help you too, Tanish, because one of these days, I'm sure you will clear your mains, get a call for interview. So whatever questions you have, please let me know. Okay, fair enough. So let's get started. Okay, so if you can all see my screen, let me know, please. Can you all see my screen? How to fill your DAF? Is my screen visible to all of you? Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, okay then. So here we go. Now, the first conversation we will have is about how to fill up your details on hobbies, interests, awards. Hi, Rhythm Kamboj. Okay, welcome to the session. How to fill up, okay, some of those interests that the DAF forms asks you about. So now to answer this question, Okay, what kind of hobbies you can list down, what kind of interest you can list down. Think of this question, all of you. Why do you think UPSC or the interview panel asks for details like hobbies, awards, interests? What's the purpose? Why does the board want to know this about you? Anybody can answer? Any one of you can say something here? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Why does the DAF ask you to list down what are your achievements, what leadership positions you have been at, what responsibilities other than studies you have taken up? Yeah, so the reasons, why does the UPSC board want to know about this? So yes, you're right. Basically, it can be about to know the candidate. Yes, they want to know how good or how accomplished you are in terms of your overall personality. They want to know what new skills you have learned. They want to know whether you are an all-rounded person or not. Interest in sports, interest in areas beyond your books. They want to know what achievements are. Yeah. So they want to know the personal side. You're right, Tanish. Exactly. Okay. That's why they are going to ask you what hobbies and what interests. But think of something very interesting here. They do not ask for any proof. You can say whatever you want to say. They don't ask you your proof about your success. They don't ask you any certificates. They don't ask you for any testimonials. Okay, so this is something you must think. While they want to know what achievements are, what interests you have, what are your achievements in terms of sports or maybe academics proficiency, but they ask for no proof. So now tell me, the board wants to know who you are, what have you been doing. The board wants to know what are your interests beyond academics, and they give you the freedom to say whatever you want to say, and they have not been asking for proof. They tell you not to get any certificates. They ask you not to get any document. Just walk in with yourself. Just walk in and be present there. That's all. Now you tell me, why is this the design of the interview? Why do they not want proof? Why they don't care about certificates? If you take certificates, the person outside the panel board, he will keep it there and ask you to go without anything on you. Can you think of this? Why they don't want any proof? Okay. So when I reason, I could only think of these two reasons. They don't care, okay, what you write, or maybe you might think they should ask. But if you are thinking deeper, why they ask you for your achievements and they don't ask for proof is essentially they're very sure you can't fool them. They're very sure that if you say something wrong, okay, they will catch you. So it is almost impossible, I personally believe, that you can get away with anything. So when you fill up your DAF and you write your interests, your hobbies, when you fill up and mention what achievements are, be mindful about this aspect, that you cannot fake it, because when they go deep in the questions, when they dive deep into uh, whatever you have done, invariably by second, third level questions, they will catch you. So it is not about you can say anything and get away with it. That's one. Second is the achievements they ask you to list down essentially is a way of getting started. Your interests, your hobbies, your achievements, okay, they are your accomplishments. They are what you are beyond your rigor of studies. So they are, those activities are something that you should be comfortable about, something you do in your leisure, something you are doing as a part of your interests. So it's impossible to be stressed about it. So when the UPSC starts asking you on questions on areas which are your interests, it's a very nice way of starting the conversation. It's a very nice way of engaging a student. So the hobbies interests are essentially a lead to get started. And third is, it doesn't matter what you write. I can write anything as a part of accomplishment. I can write anything as a part of my hobby. But what is more important is how you answer about what you have written. If you write about research paper, they will talk to you about research paper, and they're more concerned on how you deal with that question. You might write about a hobby, okay, that you have been pursuing. They don't care what your hobby is, but how you discuss that hobby, what interest you have had in pursuing it, with what sincerity you have been engaging it, that is more important. So one thing is very clear: the hobbies section, the interest section, your achievement section, it opens up a window for conversation. It opens up a lead to engage the student. So do not fill in anything and everything as a part of your hobby. That is one mistake students do. They write too many interests. They write too many hobbies, and some of them also fake the hobbies, which I think is a blunder. You should not be faking anything. I met some students a couple of days ago. He said, okay, sir, because I do not have any interest or hobbies. So he wrote meditation, he wrote music, he wrote some brisk walking. He wrote something about yeah, just a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry I got disconnected for a few seconds. Can you all hear me? Am I audible and visible to all of you? Yeah, I got disconnected for a few seconds. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay. So my point of assertion here was that when you write about the hobbies, make sure that you do not fake anything. The board will catch you. The board will counter question. The board will go deep into what you have done, why you have done, what your learnings are. The board will start, if the board suspects that you have not been honest, then you are in trouble. So it is not how many hobbies you write. It's about whether you can engage the board in the hobbies. And to be very honest, if you do not have a good hobby, don't worry. If you do not have a good interest that you could have taken up, it's okay. Just mention that I was more in studies, regular work, regular play, nothing that I could pursue because of maybe whatever constraint. Just make sure that you are able to justify why you are not able to pursue anything beyond your regular studies. It happens in India, the curriculums are tough. Sometimes we don't have the exposure, sometimes we don't have the means. We might come from backgrounds where we are not exposed to hobbies and interests. So that's okay, no problem. You will not be scored, you will not be judged adversely just because you don't have a hobby. But if you mention a hobby, an interest, if you mention some kind of achievement and you can't discuss it, you can't engage the board, then it is going to be a bad scene. You will be penalized if you are faking that aspect of your DAF. Okay, so the DAF is mainly to engage you through the hobbies. The hobbies, interests, they're one way of knowing you, but please do not write what is not correct. So, and one more reason, see, one more interesting aspect here is that if it's simply that we want some conversation, then they need not have to make you write it on the board. They could have asked you in the interview directly. Okay, your DAF could have been simply your name, your address, okay, your subject, and they should have had no column for interest hobbies. You can just walk in and they can ask you what your interests are. So my take on this is that they make you write mainly because they want you to be prepared about it. They don't want to surprise you, okay, on at that moment. They say you write your hobby, you write your interest, you write your achievements. Do mention what your position of leadership has been, and be prepared about it. Be prepared about it, and make sure that you can discuss it. So writing hobbies is part of evaluation of your integrity. Okay, it's part assessing whether you have the ethics to be honest or not. And that's a very important trait that they are, trying to assess about you. So my conclusion from all of this is, no matter what, please do not write or falsify what you have not done. Be honest here. If you have not done some activity, if you have not been part of some program beyond studies, if you have had no interest beyond your preparation, don't mention it. That's perfectly fine. Okay, that's my take on the hobbies and interest. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please do write your questions. And all of those who are yet preparing for the mains, for the interview, and hopefully you will see an interview maybe sometime in a year or two. It's a good thing if you can inculcate some interest. Maybe from the GS, if you have got interested in some aspects, it could be IR, it could be maps, it could be keeping track of environment, developments. It could be your interest in history, or maybe knowing some specific part of history. So it'll be nice if you can cultivate that as an interest. And when you come to interview, maybe a year or two later, you'll have something to speak about. Okay, so those who are still preparing in the initial days, develop some interest. I'm not saying it should be very deep and rich and scholarly, but make sure if you can develop, and I'm sure the kind of range GS as a subject offers, geography, history, polity, constitution, science, technology, environment, economy, ethics, I'm sure there'll be some area that will hold your interest. There'll be some area that will get you excited. So see if you can cultivate that as a part of your hobby interest, so that when your turn for interview comes, you are not entirely lost. Okay, so now maybe for some of us who have done 2 or 3 activities, how do we zero down which one to write on? Maybe I like playing, I like reading, I also have music interest, maybe I like traveling, maybe I have been part of some, project. I have participated maybe in some fundraise. So maybe I've done many things. Which one do I choose? Which hobbies, interests do I write about? Which achievement? So this is what I would recommend. So when you are, you have a fair amount of exposure, so look for a hobby that you have done for considerable length of time, at least for 2 or 3 years. That shows that you have, been at it for some time. Then you can talk about it better. And
you have pursued it not once in a while, you have done it consistently. You take time once a week, you find time maybe a couple of days in a month. Maybe some of you could find time 2 or 3 times a week. Something that you have done for 2, 3 years and you have done frequently, and something that you can talk about in terms of how it benefits you. You can talk about how it engages you. And mind you, these are some aspects of your interest you cannot fake. Okay, because as an interview will go deep, and the people who are interviewing you, remember, they are seasoned in interviewing candidates. यूपीएससी बोर्ड का यही काम है, डे इन डे आउट, मंथ आफ्टर मंथ, डेज आफ्टर डेज, उनका काम ही है इंटरव्यू लेना. So, when you are engaging the board in terms of what benefits you have had from the activities, what insights you can share that you have been able to manage from your interests, it will happen only when you have done something consistently. If you have pursued something for 2, 3 years and you have been sincere about it. So it is on that basis that you choose which hobbies you must mention. If you write too many hobbies and you can't engage appropriately, it will be a complete letdown. You will get penalized. So अगर लिखना ही है तो एक ही हॉबी लिखना, नो प्रॉब्लम, जस्ट राइट वन हॉबी. अगर नहीं है तो मत लिखो, दैट्स ओके. But if you can't engage, if you don't have insights, if you can't justify you have done it for a couple of years, then it will not give you the marks. I've seen a lot of students write teaching as a hobby, and they taught maybe 1 or 2 person 4 or 5 years ago. They have taught maybe one boy or one girl who was a neighbor or something, and that too in school. Usko hobby thoda bola jayega. Hobby is something that you have done repeatedly. If you like teaching as a hobby, then maybe at least 2 or 3 times in a month you have gone out to teach some underprivileged. If you like teaching, maybe you take interest in joining some some institution, some NGO. Even if you can give a couple of hours in a month, that's okay. But it should have been done consistently. It should have been done across 2, 3 years, pursued it. Tab usko hobby bolenge. Not some activity you have done 5 years ago, that too only once or twice. So somebody wrote hobby was, or interest was collecting some funds and working to develop interest on some environment awareness. And when I asked how many times you have done it, just once, that in college, in second year, part of some club, अब वो थोड़ी आपका achievement होगा. Okay, so that looks very terrible on your DAF. Okay, so this is what I could have talked about your interests and hobbies. By the way, do you have any questions you want to ask me? You have any questions you want me to discuss? You have some doubts that you want me to clarify? Hi, Adish. Okay, please do ask. Like that's why I'm saying that if you can start off in some small way now and grow into it slowly, gradually over 2 or 3 years, at least 1 or 2 years, by the time you give your interview, you would have some understanding of the activity you want to write as a hobby. Okay. You have any questions? Please ask me. All of you are very quiet. Maybe it's too late, maybe. I deliberately had the session late because I thought, this is when you all, will be free from all other chores and you can sit down and talk to me. Yeah. You have any doubts, any clarifications? Okay, please ask me. Fine. Now about the award that you must write about. Some scholarship, some award, some achievement. It's better you do not talk about class 5th, class 7th, class 8. It's better you talk about some college level competition, some inter-district competition, some inter-state competition, or national level and higher maybe. It should be a significant achievement. And if it is at school, maybe inter-school competition, or maybe you're even a head boy, that's okay. Achievements like a class secretary, or achievements like some prize within the inter-class competitions, आप उसको avoid करो. Something significant is important, okay? Otherwise, it's perfectly fine. Believe me, they will not make you an IAS, or they will not reject your claim to be an IAS on the basis of these entries alone. ऐसा नहीं है. Just because you don't have an award, a scholarship, does not mean you don't deserve to be part of the bureaucracy and administration. And just because you have some awards, that's no guarantee in terms of you getting selected. Okay, so mention those which is a significant achievement. Okay, so that you can show that as a recent and a more matured level of some award that you have won. So that's about your hobbies, interests. The next question, okay, that I'm asked about is, sir, what about hobbies like meditation, walking, yoga, cooking? Rhythm asks me, can you write numismatics? Yes, absolutely. If you have done a serious, work in coin collection, stamp collection, you have a good, understanding of the different type of coins. अगर किया है तो पक्का लिखो. And then be ready to be grilled and questioned and discussed on that particular topic. Think about, you can engage the board through insights. So yes, but my experience has been, these are some hobbies students write mindlessly. वो लिख देते हैं बस. मेडिटेशन लिख दिया. क्या करते हो मेडिटेशन? सर एवरी मॉर्निंग आई गेट अप फॉर 50 एंड सिट डाउन, आईज क्लोज 15 मिनट्स. वो थोड़ी मेडिटेशन है. योगा, okay, some asan, but nothing really properly done as a yoga culture नहीं है. आप some walking, okay, so ये बड़े tricky वाले hobbies हैं. And this in most cases has not been convincing. People say cooking, but they have not really done cooking beyond some regular food. They have to cook because of compulsion. They say traveling, but they have not been to more than 2, 3, 4 places. Movies like anybody else, but no deep interest in movies. So these kind of hobbies will not get you marks. You actually will lose marks because they look insincere. They leave a very bad taste. I personally, whenever I see meditation, yoga, or walking, okay, I'm completely dismissive of this, unless you really have something good, concrete to talk about. It's not about reading about meditation. फिर आपने किया भी है, you can discuss it. Okay, so, and most of these people who are on the board, remember, they are the senior ones. Some of them actually and actively do meditation. Many of them actively have been pursuing yoga, so they do know about this. Okay, so if you try to fake your way and say something because it looks nice, you are in trouble. So any one of you, and reading current affair, this is such a difficult one to defend. Because see, current affair, most of us read as a part of compulsion. Hobby is not your regular chore. Hobby is not what you do out of compulsion. Hobby is not your work. Hobby is what you do out of interest. So unless you are doing something with interest, don't mention it. Narendra, you do high intensity workout and wrestling. Okay. So yes, it's perfectly fine. अगर वाकई में किया है, 2-3 साल किया है, and you know the nuances about it, that's okay. Okay, if you have done it, perfect. My my only issue is that you write something just because you feel compelled to write about it. Okay, so that will not get you the marks. That will only trouble you. So that is about your hobby. Yashart says, your background is electrical engineering. I received monetary scholarship. I won't write about it. I don't remember anything about electrical engineering. Yes, you can just mention scholarship in college. That's all. Okay, that's all. So if they ask you questions, then you can defend. Okay. But again, if you think that is a substantial you want to talk about, तब लिखो, otherwise छोड़ दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Okay. One of them said he or she got a scholarship, and many of them got scholarship. It wasn't really a very big achievement. So drop कर दो. Okay. 5 years you did that. So that was how many years ago, Narendra? Was it 2-3 years ago, or was it much earlier? Rhythm, if you are doing meditation sincerely for half an hour and not simply closing your eyes and sitting, meditation is a process. Meditation is not sitting quietly. Meditation entails certain steps. Okay, if you're doing it sincerely, then perfectly fine. Okay, and you should have done it for considerable length of time, not for a few days, couple of months. You are experimenting with it, then you are in trouble. Yasharth, like I said, if you have something genuine to mention, then mention. Otherwise, don't fake it. Just because you want to fill up the columns, don't do that. नहीं है तो नहीं है, और क्या कर सकते हो? Okay, अगर नहीं है तो no point creating one artificially. तो अगर नहीं है तो बता देना कि सर नहीं था इंटरेस्ट, टाइम नहीं मिला, कभी एक्सपोजर नहीं था, कि सर आई एम largely studious, I like my studies well. Okay, or I do maybe some light music, गाना सुन लेता हूँ, but nothing which I can call my hobby. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so do not write anything for sake of writing. Part-time trainer in gym, okay, that's okay then. If you are doing that as sincerely, Narendra, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so if you have done meditation with pranayam and you have pursued it with interest, and you have some insights into it, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. So I hope I can move on now. Okay, okay, fine. So I'm done with the hobbies part. Now, I think all of you are familiar with this part, which is the zones, zone 1, 2, 3, 4. You are asked to fill your zone of preference in the zone of zones in terms of a preference. So zone 1 has these 6 states. Zone 2 has 4 states. Zone 3 has 4 states. Zone 4 is again 6 states, and zone 5. So you are supposed to give a sense of priority. So I took up one sample one. So this boy wants zone 1 as his first priority, zone 2 as second priority, zone 3 as third priority, zone 5 as fourth priority, and zone 5 is the last priority. So आपको यहाँ पर zone का preference देना पड़ेगा. And for each zone has some states as a part of a group. फिर आपको इसके अंदर arrange करना पड़ेगा, okay, which is your home state and the preference of which state do you want to have. So this 1 represents your first preference. Okay, so I prefer zone 1 because maybe my home is Delhi. Agmat is Delhi. Okay, Agmat includes Delhi, Goa, Union Territories. Okay, this is Lakshadweep, Andaman. All of that comes under this AGMAT territory. Arunachal Pradesh comes under this. Okay, so this is your AGMAT cadre. Haryana, Himachal, Punjab, Rajasthan. So this boy chose one as AGMAT and two as Rajasthan and three as Punjab and so on. So आपको जोन भरना होगा and फिर हर जोन में जो states हैं. So this is what I have done. Okay. So I have considered 3-4 things. I have considered the home state आपका क्या है, जो भी home state आपका है, that zone becomes your preference number 1. Then I've considered other zones, how near or far they are. I've also considered, okay, maybe cultural aspects. So if I belong to parts of Rajasthan, Haryana, culturally, Northeast is a bit more distant for me. If I belong to Uttaranchal, Himachal Pradesh, culturally, I'm very far away from Southern India. Okay, so it's a human thing. You want to be in the zone where you have your cultural familiarity. Like otherwise, you have prospect in all zones, you have prospect in all states. Some degrees might vary. They say if I'm from Manipur and my zone is 4, then culturally Southern India is very far away for me. Language problem ho sakta hai. Culturally, maybe Odisha, Bihar, this could be nearer, okay, because of the distance. So these are some considerations. What is your home state? That zone should be your priority 1, and how far or near you are from your home state, and the cultural difference, okay, plus whatever preference. So what I have done is, in choosing the zones, okay, say if my zone 1 is my first preference, then my last preference automatically will be zone 5 and 4. ये last हो जाएगा. Okay, zone 1 के बाद में the nearer states will be zone 3. 1 के पास 3 ज़्यादा पास है. Okay, and some may say कि no, I think UP and Bihar is closer. I hope you get the logic here. How am I arranging? If my home state is, say, Andhra Pradesh, then zone 5 is my first choice, and the closest to 5 is zone 3. And farthest away from zone 5 will be zone 4. Can you all understand this logic, all of you? Okay. You understand this logic? How far or near you are from your home state, the cultural distance, the physical distance. That's how we are going to choose the states. If I belong to, say, Jharkhand, then zone 2 will be my first preference. Now, can you all tell me, if I belong to Jharkhand zone 1, which zone is closest to zone 2? Okay, the farthest away from zone 2 will be northeast. So ये मेरा 5th preference हो जाएगा. Okay, the next farther away will be zone 5. इसको मैं 4 preference बना दूंगा. Then between 3 and 1 I must choose. If I'm from Jharkhand, in all probabilities, maybe I feel Chhattisgarh is closer to me, and I can mark this as 2, I can mark this as 3. Okay. Or we might choose to mark this as 2 and I can mark this as 3. So this is the logic I have used. Can you all confirm if you understand this process here? Say if I say that my home state is say Kerala, So then zone 5 is my preference number 1. in that case, what do you think is my preference number 2? If I come from Kerala, which is my last preference, automatically zone 4 will become my last preference. Okay. Kerala se hai, again, Agmet, Haryana, Punjab, they look very far away. So maybe this will be my 4th preference. Kerala se zyada pass, maybe Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh maybe. Okay, so maybe I can put this as my 2nd preference and this I can put as my 3rd preference. Or if I want, I can also interchange this. So it's not a very tricky thing, okay? You just have to be mindful of the cultural distance and mindful of, okay, whether, the distance matters to you and you want to live. Otherwise, like I said, it's entirely your choice what states you prefer and where you would like to work. Okay, so this is how you choose your zones. Now about the service, so this year they have 21 services, and I have grouped the service into some categories. Okay, so one group of services, IAS, IPS, IFS. One group of services, Indian Audit Account, Revenue Service Income Tax, Revenue Service Customs and Indirect Taxes, and IRMS is the Railway Management, which is a part of a very important administration and bureaucracy. And Block 3 it has Civil Accounts, DANICS, and DANIPS. These are Group B services. Then we have Indian Defense Estates. We have Indian Railway Personnel Service. There's also one Indian Railways Account Service also. This is Indian Railways Personnel Service. Indian Railways Protection Service. This one. It is Protection Service here. एक personnel भी है और एक account भी है, but those services are not mentioned this year. Last year they had this. This year they have a Railway Management Service. Okay, and the block 4 is Indian Civil Accounts. Indian Corporate Law, Indian Information Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Trade Service, Indian Post Telegraph Account Service. Okay, so we have Post Telecommunication Accounts and a Finance Service. Okay, this service is here. And the block 5 has Pondips, Indian Defense Account Service, and we have this Armed Forces Headquarters Civil Services. This also is a Group B service. This also is a Group B service. And this is Group A service. So my suggestion to all of you is, okay, in marking your services, maintain this preference. Put this block as your first preference. और इसके अंदर आपको जो change करना है कर दो. Okay, so if I'm marking, I'll mark IAS as 1, I'll mark IPS as 2, I will mark Foreign Service as 3. Okay, so block 1 is over. Then come to block 2. Block 2, in audit account, I will mark as 4. Revenue Service Income Tax, I will mark as 5. And Revenue Service Customs Tax is 6. And I will mark Indian Railway Management Services as 7. So I've taken care of block 2. Then come to block 3. Block 3 mein Indian Civil Account Service, I will mark as 8. Okay. Now, DANIPS and DANICS, these are two services. They are Group B, but they are hardcore administration. These two services, you are in the power corridors, you are into actual administration, You can have deputation in the best of ministries. So these two, even if they are Group B basically what happens is the promotion becomes slow. But by the time you retire, last 2-3 years, or if you have joined earlier, maybe a bit more, you can retire as an IAS. And if you are in DANIPS, you can become IPS. So even if they are Group B, I recommend that this should be rated a bit more higher up. Okay, so higher up आपने rate किया इसको. And we have defense estates. Defense estate is like the civil services of cantonment area. Okay, so this is also a good service. And we have Indian Railways protection. So if you want, this can also be alternate. So you have taken care of your group box 1, box 2, and box 3. Okay. And come to, okay, fine. So Rhythm, you want to know how to prepare for meditation? Harshit is inviting you. You can talk to him. He can help you with your, discussion. Okay, so do connect with him. Give him your Telegram. Okay, personal level pay. He can help you with it. Okay, now come back here. After 1, 2, and 3 blocks, you come to block 4. Okay, so block 4, it has corporate law service, information service, postal service, trade, and post telegraph accounts. Now see, these services, unfortunately, we don't hear much. Even if they are Group A, we don't hear much. I do not have much information about people who are allocated here talking positively. I've seen a lot of people talking about resigning, not much of dynamic activity. So isko upar mat bhar dena. Okay, and of these, I would recommend corporate law because this service has prospects even after you retire. Corporate law is always important, so other ways. Okay? So you can have your own consultancy, you develop your network. So I will recommend that you please mark this block 4 in this sequence. If you want, maybe trade service can also go up if you want, or take it down. Okay, but more or less block 4 ka yahi sequence hai. And this one is an account service. Invariably, this account services, somehow it becomes a bit more of a steady service and not much of public interaction. It feels as a very clerical job. So account services generally we push down. Unless it is civil accounts, you say this is a very good service. Okay, otherwise, account service push down. And the 5th block, the last block is Pondicherry Service Services, Indian Defense Accounts. ये Group A है, but both of these are not the preferred type of work profile with your kind of ambition. You guys come here for IAS, IPS type of roles. You come here for policy making, active public dealing. So account service and armed forces headquarters job, these are not the ones that many of you will prefer going there. That's why I put them as last. So how you mark the choices of services, you can maintain this sequence. The block 1, this should have first priority. Block 2 must have second priority. और इसी sequence में आप कर सकते हो. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this and you can fill up on your own. But please don't fill these randomly. There's the logic that I have provided. Okay. You can do that, Yasharth. If IPS is not your choice, if they, see, nobody will grill you as such, but they definitely want to know why IPS is not your preferred choice. It's an unusual one, isn't it? So make sure you have a good reason for it. Okay, it should not be any whimsical a random reason. Okay, but अगर सही reason है, it could be maybe health issues हैं, maybe okay your eyesight problems you might get, okay, or maybe you are you think you're not cut out for the uniform type of service. Okay, you are better off. Okay, so you must justify it essentially. It's perfectly fine. They give a choice, so you can justify it. I've seen a lot of people opt for revenue service above police service, so that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all, Yasharth. So, guys, this is all we had for today's workshop. How to fill up your DAF, how uh, you must not fake your hobbies, interests, how you should ensure that you are sincere, you have your integrity in place when you mention some of the achievements. Don't be under pressure to fill up a column just because you do not you don't have something of credibility. तो ऐसे ही भर मत देना. Okay, so my wishes to all of you. You can always reach out to me. My phone number is 9868424660. I've put it on your chat. You can give me a WhatsApp message. You can give me a call. And I invite all of you to be part of the interaction process. I love interacting on interview front. Yes, you can do that. You see, if the moment you push IFS below IPS, you will not get it. As simple as that. You don't have to go to 7 number. Even 4 number में आपको IPS नहीं मिलेगा. It's a very, very sought after, much coveted service. बहुत कम vacancies होती हैं. The moment you push it at 3rd or 4th level, you will not be considered for IFS. Okay, so don't go to 7. I think 4 is good enough. Maybe IAS, IPS, revenue service, in an audit account service, you can go into IFS. So वहां तक आपका IFS reject हो जाएगा, more or less. Yasharth, we will start off the sessions, hopefully this week itself. We have one session on how to prepare day after tomorrow at 4:30. You can join me live on that. And I'll slowly, gradually groom you into your preparation. Okay? So thank you all for joining me. It's been quite late now, but you guys were patient. So, and please tell your friends if they want to reach out, if you are part of some communities, I'll be more than happy to talk to you and counsel you in how you can prepare, right? Okay, thank you so much. Good night. My wishes to all of you. Looking forward to interacting with more of you. Bye-bye.